Alright guys, just a quick how-to video on how to... Customer just wanted the nose of this truck done. He's getting a bug deflector for here. I already have this piece done. It's joined here. And then there's another piece that goes here. So we are going to wrap this in Suntex paint protection film. I'll do a quick video on how to do so because there is some contour to this. Just pause it. What's up, Mr. Trent? Alright guys, sorry about that. I got interrupted in the video. So basically all we did was I just laid on the vinyl. I soaked it with 70% isopropyl alcohol. And I have not done anything with it. I wanted to show you a few different options. So first I'm going to soak it again because it's been a while. So here I am soaking it again. And here we go. So now, as you can see, we're going to tuck in here. So in order to do that, I don't really necessarily need to tuck in here. I can pull the vinyl in a way where it'll stretch horizontally, and when it stretches, it'll want to fold in here by itself. I won't have to push it in there. It will go in there by itself anyway. So, no more talk, I'll show you. Got my squeegee right here. It's a soft, very soft squeegee. So I'm just going to put my pelvis here, and I'm going to pull it back, and I'm going to pull horizontally. Now you can see as I pull, it's already gone in by itself, top and bottom, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want to have to push it in there. You want to, I didn't bring my slip solution, so I'm just going to try a bit of alcohol here. You want it to go in there by itself. Now, you shouldn't have to squeeze the hell out of this. It should basically stay where it wants to be right now. Alright, so there you go, there you have it. Now, obviously you continue, and you should almost use the slip solution, which is over here. You can use anything for a slip solution. That was actual glass cleaner right there. And it's really good because it evaporates pretty fast. It's a good slip solution for sure. So we're gonna basically get the majority of it all squeezed out. You want to be thorough here, guys, because bubbles will show up in this really good. Let's see. I got a lot of excess here. Too much, but it was just the end of a roll. So guys, you're going to want to be thorough, especially right here on these body lines here, because what's going to happen is the water is going to accumulate here. And same here. So you're going to be very thorough here, especially on the edges. There we go. You can see, like, I'm not pushing it in here. It's going in there by itself. Same here. I don't have to work it in there. It's wanting to go in there all by itself. So now what's happening now is it's hanging up. All this is hanging it up. So we're going to trim all this off to the bottom of the headlight. My knife is getting dull here and I'm suffering. But she's it's coming. All stuck to itself here right now. Just let me free this up here. There we go. All right, so yeah, we'll just leave that for now. Make sure everything is trimmed real nice here. Okay, good. Good. So the majority of it is down. There's no bubbles. There's no contaminants. It all looks good. So now we're going to come over here. So now we're going back into an area where it's got to bend in around here. But the problem is it's going to fold on itself if you don't do it properly. You've got to pull it. You've got to stretch it. So in order to do this, what you should do, this is SunTek paint protection film, and I find with SunTek's paint protection film, with a lot of heat, it tears very easily. So let me come over here and grab my cord and heat gun. All right, sorry about that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some preheat on it. I'm just going to heat it up. And I'm going to step away from it. If I continue to pull on this now where it's hot, it will tear. And if it tears, there's no chance. You're just going to take it off and retry it again. So while that's cooling again, I am going to come up here and try to squeeze out some of this water. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm doing this as fast as I can because I don't want the video to be too long. Normally, I would probably get this far and then I'd let it dry for about 15 minutes. It makes the job so much easier because right now everything's wet and it's just coming back, keeps pulling back. But this particular customer wanted his door sills done also, so I probably would have jumped to the door sill right here on the driver's side. I would have got that done and come back and I would have squeezed this on. It would have stayed permanently as soon as I push it down the first time. Now I'm having to work with it a little bit, but it's all right. You never want to cut on the paint here. You want to stay under the headlight, and you're basically just using the headlight as a guide for the knife. Right? As I said, my knife is getting a bit dull now, but it's working. So guys, now that I got it trimmed, it's basically going in there just the way it should be. Just be thorough, because I'm still getting water, even though I am being thorough. You're still, especially in these areas where the body lines are, the water will accumulate there. So be thorough. Squeeze it all. Now I'm going to do some more trimming, so you can trim right here where it's joined. That way you don't have to cut on the paint again, which is very important. All right. I'm going to continue trimming here, but something came up. I'm going to have to pause again just a second. All right, guys, sorry about that. Okay, so that was probably a 15-minute interruption there. So I don't know if you can see it from here, but this is already starting to dry. It's kind of milky. So now, like when I push this out this time, this should just stay right in there. Beautiful. Much better. Yeah, so this is all good. This is all good. Okay, so let's start trimming here. So here, Again, you don't want to cut on the paint. You're just going to cut between the plastic right here. Just get a good start on it. Once you get a good start on it, you can start using the there we go. Now I'm just cutting on the plastic here. I'm not cutting on the paint. Just want to take your dead time with this. Sorry I'm in your way here, but there we go. Really nice. Really good. Okay, so this is basically all done. So now we do have some excess right here. Yeah, we got a bubble here that I got to get out right away. And there we go. Gone. I'm looking down through the body lines to see if I have any more bubbles, which I do not see. So now we're going to have to trim. So I do want to tuck under here a little bit because I'm trying to protect this panel from rocks, and rocks can kind of come up on an angle from the pavement here. So keep that in mind. I mean, the main purpose of this is to protect the paint. So you want to get it in areas that it's going to do its job. So you can see here, I mean, it's still a little bit wet. Suntech does a real good job. Whatever they're using in their adhesives, it works really good. Even when it's wet, you know, it's pretty fast to adhere. It's not really warm in here today. It's fall here in Newfoundland, and it's cold. So it's probably 69 in here today, Fahrenheit. I'm pushing it as I come in. My thumb is soaking wet because of the material, but what's good about doing it with your thumb is that this body line right here, if you're just going to go with the squeegee and just tuck it in this way, any of the moisture or the alcohol that's hung up on that body line right here will go on top and it'll form a bubble. Which is not what you want. You want to dry it as good as possible. So I start with my thumb up here, push down under. So any material that's up above goes right out the exit on the bottom. So now the only thing we really got left to do now is the front nose. So we already heated it. It's dried for about 15 minutes. It's still not completely dry. There are still alcohol bubbles onto the film, so I know it's not completely dry. But I'm going to show you how to stretch around this area. I don't know if you can see this. So you're basically going to take whatever you can get your fingers on, and you're just going to stretch it in here. Alright, so you're just going to work your way down to the point. Stretch here. Good. Because it's drying, it's staying down very well. So I'm coming now to the point where this sharp corner is due. So here is where the most stretch is going to occur. So you're going to get your fingers kind of oriented in a way where it's parallel with the corner on each side, and you're going to pull in as far as you can and keep it there as you're squeegeeing it. Now this is where I was saying, if it's dry, it's better. And the heat helps it be more malleable, I'll say. It stays, it's easier to manipulate the film when it's heated and then cooled down. But if you don't let it cool down, the film will tear. And we don't want that. It's really sticking good here. Like right now, the extra 15 minutes was a great help. So we're almost done here. We're squeezing in the last of it right now. Here we are. Beautiful. Beautiful. Down here. And I still have to trim underneath the panel here a little bit. But the majority of it is all on. There's just trimming left to do. Now, Suntex vinyl is really nice for cutting because it takes a bit of getting used to, but the film itself tears almost like a zipper. So all I have to do is lay my knife on it. Now, you'll get used to this. You probably have to practice before you'd want to cut on your vehicle. But I'm just laying it here. I'm not really pressing at all. And what I'm trying to demonstrate here is how it tears. Like, I'm really just scoring the surface of the vinyl. I'm not going through the vinyl in any sort of way. I'm not cutting into the paint. I'm just scoring it. So what that's going to do is allow, once I get a tear start, it'll allow somewhere for it to follow. The tear will follow the score. See if I can show you. Here you can see the score. So I'm basically going to slice the vinyl so that I can get it to start. Okay, here we go. So I got to start it. Now I didn't cut that in any other way. I'm just going to trim it right now, right here. Okay. So as you can see, it's breaking. Like the vinyl's lifting with it because it never cut all the way through. It only scored it. So what's happening is it's tearing. It's just tearing along the score that I put in the film. This is the end of it right here. Beautiful. And so the same thing applies down here. Just almost the weight of the knife, really. And this is a nice blade. It's from Vivid. It's a, you can buy these blades anywhere. It's just a 30-degree blade, real sharp. So again, I just touch it. You can see it lifting the vinyl as it comes off, which is okay. You can always push it back down. Or the main thing is you're not cutting on the paint. That's a huge no-no. Here I'm just cutting on the bottom of the panel. I'm not touching the paint again here. It's just excess that is curled out. There we go. Beautiful. So it's still wet. I'm going to need to go over it all now with some heat, post heat, and maybe a napkin to dry out any of the moisture from underneath the film. Once that's done, it might want to sit inside of a heated area for about an hour, and it should be good to go. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching.